Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Island Girl Gardening. Just a little sweep through of the garden and the greenhouse this morning. Hi, I'm back, or we're back. I know we've been off the scene for a little bit. Life has gotten busy between work and gardening and other responsibilities. I haven't had the opportunity to really make a video, and it has been extremely hot here. So I don't know, I haven't had the energy to do it maybe. This morning, however, it is beautiful. Nice little breeze blowing, and it's not humid just yet. So I figured, let me make a video. I am long overdue and I had missed you guys. So here we are, just to give just a little update on what's going on, what has been harvested, and what we have going on right now in the garden. So let's take a little quick preview. If you look over here, first of all, my birds in the birdhouse. Got some birds going on over here in the birdhouse. They're making their home, if you can see that. But just swinging around here. Got some tomatoes going in a container here. For some reason, they have been blowing over with the wind. I'm not sure why. We staked them, but they're still blowing over. They have some tomatoes on them, so I'm just going to kind of leave them like they are. As long as the roots aren't, out of the soil, and they're not, I'm just going to kind of leave them like they are. As you can see, they got tomatoes on them, so I'm just going to leave them. They keep blowing over, so I'm going to leave them. Over here we have our lime, which you see has nice fruit on it. Nice fruit, nice fruit. We have a squash plant sitting right next to it. It's kind of invading its space. I'm going to have to cut some of those leaves back. And let's see. Another squash plant right there. And our banana. If you remember, the banana tree that we thought had died, it's looking rather well. It's coming up rather well. And then this is our lemon tree that's got some fruit on it also. Got a butternut squash kind of hiding over here in a container. And it's got a squash in there. And our little elderberry is looking rather well. He's doing good. Got some empty containers over there that had squash in them. But these are the two remaining ones that were in the containers. So I brought them out into the sun a little bit because they were kind of hiding over behind the trees, so they weren't getting very much sun, so they're doing much better. My avocado tree, as you can see, she is looking really, really good. My Thai peppers are coming in. As you can see, those are yellow. This is the third or fourth year that I've had fruit to come off of this particular pepper plant. So I'm going to see if she'll sprout again next year once I harvest those. Our pineapples still looking good. Still waiting for some pineapple, but we'll see what happens. The cherry trees. Didn't get any cherries this year, but this is only our second year with them, so we'll see what happens next year. We're gonna, of course, store them, and once the summer is done, and see what happens. This tree is getting awfully big too. This is the one that was started from seed. I think it's a lemon tree. That one was started from seed, so it's doing really, really good. And this is our sugar cane. It has sprouted up, as you can see. And I got my little helper here. He's sunbathing. There's Max. Our Arona berry is looking rather well. She's got some extra sprouts coming up on the side. Raspberry, it looks like she's getting ready to have some fruit on her. She's got some new growth on her also, so she's doing good. My blackberry, this one on this side was the one I got all the fruit from, and we purchased a new blackberry to sit alongside her just to see what happens with them. So it's looking rather well. It's got some new growth on it, so we'll see if we'll get a harvest from that. Our grapevine is still looking magnificent, and we have grapes on there. We haven't harvested any just yet. She's still kind of growing into herself, so we'll see what happens with the grapes. And then the ones on the other side, I think they also have some grapes on them too. Our blueberry section has majorly expanded. I don't know if you all remember from the beginning, but we just had the blueberries on that side. I think we have, how many plants now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think my husband's trying to start a little blueberry farm on this side of the yard, just to let you know. But we have been harvesting blueberries all season, and they have been very good. We've been able to freeze some. We've been able to share some, give some away. That's all part of the blessing of gardening, is being able to have things to share. Now, we also have opened up the yard. If you see right here, that is a new fence. So we have opened up the yard from being closed off right here, which is where the fence ended before. And now we have it extended so that I can walk on this side and I can see my avocado tree that has died at the top, but look at the bottom of it with all this new growth. So I have to see what this avocado tree is going to do. Not really sure. We water it, fertilized it, and it still kind of did this. So I think maybe it was a little too hot for it, since this is a cold hardy one. But then this started happening. So I'm like, okay, a little more research. Let's just keep it watered, keep her fertilized, and let's see what she does as it starts to get cooler. She may take off at that point in time. This is the orange tree, and as you can see, it looks crazy, but she's got all kinds of new growth on her. And I think I saw a couple of buds. I thought I did. Yeah, they were over on this side. You can see right there. It's a couple of buds there on that side, but she's getting bigger and looking very healthy. I think it's going to be a really, really big orange tree. And then my golden delicious apple tree. She has gotten tall. She's gotten all kinds of new growth on her, as you can see. And then those little bugs, I'm not sure what the name of them are. They tried to come and attack her. As you can see, she's got some eaten leaves. So I had to spray her down with some neem oil. And generally that will help keep those little critters away. So that is the new addition or new extension on this side of the garden. There's Gizmo. Everybody's sunning. They are so funny. Okay, so we're just going to walk back through now that the yard is completely extended, and we can just walk through there. That was the container we took potatoes out of. And then this is our sorrel, which is coming back now. It's doing beautifully and comfy. I never got my sunflowers to do anything. This is where they were. As you can see, this is as tall as it got, and it has a little flower on it. But it didn't get to the size it was supposed to. But that's okay. I will try it again. There's nothing wrong with a failure. Failure helps you to succeed because you learn some things and you could do some things a little differently. So I'll probably start it indoors next time and kind of go from there with my sunflowers. But this is the watermelon patch. And as you can see, it has grown tremendously. And wherever you see the little nets, that's where a watermelon is. We kind of give it that extra support inside here. I think we have about 8 watermelons right now in there. So that's pretty exciting. This is probably the most watermelon we've had. My strawberry patch would probably do better if the watermelon and the squash was not raining over top of it. But we've gotten strawberries out of there, so I have to clean the strawberry, the watermelon, and also the squash back. As you can see, this is the squash bed. And we have harvested so many squash out of here, and it is still growing like wildflower. Over here on the end, let me see if I got you good. We got eggplant. And just yesterday, I came through here and I was able to harvest some eggplant. I got about 5 eggplant out of here, the ping tongue and the blacks. So that's my eggplant little patch right there. It's kind of being overshadowed by the squash too. When you plant your squash, make sure you either trellis it completely because it grows like wildflower. And don't put it next to something else that vines also. I have my squash and I have my watermelon close by. I said I wasn't going to do that again, but I wound up doing it again this year. But I will definitely keep that in mind when I plant next year to make sure I do not put 2 vining things next to one another because this is what they do. As you can see, the middle right here, it's supposed to be a little walkway through here, but everything has grown out of its enclosure. My squash is on this side, watermelon on this side, and they're kind of crossing in the middle. So if anything happens in the middle there, I don't know. They're crossing over there in the middle, but I would rather them not cross and be in their own enclosure. So let's continue around, just looking. A couple of tomato plants right there on the end. And as we come in, you see there was going to be some different little things going on. There's another one on our watermelon. Peppers have been in plenty. I have had so much to share. Had froze some, gave some away, cooked with some. These are my habanandas. They are coming in. They haven't changed color just yet. Don't know if you can see those. They're going to be orange. But the plants are like littered with them. Now I have to make a comment about the peppers. I thought planting them close together like this was going to be disastrous. But as you can see, it looks like they really flourished. Those are my scorpions over there. I got banana peppers there. I got cayennes here. And as you can see, the plants are littered with peppers. Those are my fish peppers. There's more cayenne. This is my jigsaw. My husband tried one of these yesterday, and they are very hot. He did confirm that. More banana peppers. I have my orange bell peppers coming here and here. And then back here, I have my jalapenos coming in. More cayennes, my Carolina Reapers. Now these were the plants that we overwintered. We kept them over the winter and then we put them in the garden. As you can see, they are littered with peppers also. They haven't changed colors just yet. Okay, so I also have my lilacs right here. Some more banana peppers. The Wonders, I'll get those on the other side. The Carolina Wonders are on the other side. But as you can see, the peppers did really, really good, even though they were in close proximity with one another. They are producing, they are healthy, and they didn't have the same problem as the tomatoes did with blowing over. I think my tomato plants were spaced too far apart, and I think they probably would have done better if they were closer together. So that's the pepper. And as you can see, we harvested our corn. We did get quite a bit of corn out of there. So the corn box is clear. But as you can see right here, I have my cantaloupe plant in here, which is doing awesome. It's spreading, and I'm starting to see little flowers and little fruit coming in. But as you can see, there's some corn that's planted in here. My husband decided that he was going to put some corn into the same box with the cantaloupe. Okay, imagine that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Hopefully nothing happens to my cantaloupe. but we'll see what happens. So they're in a cold joint box at the moment. Okay, my cucumber is looking a little sad this morning. It is getting a little warmer now, so they're drooping just a bit. They'll perk up once they get some water and it cools down a little bit. But we've gotten quite a few cucumbers out of here also. My tomato bed, as you can see, she's a mixture of fruit, brown plants, and green plants. Go figure. Like I said, I think this year we planted them too far apart, so they didn't get the support that they had last year, because we had them very close together last year. It made it a little harder to harvest, but they did much better. But as you can see, it's kind of a mixture, because you can see there's some green plants, and we have gotten a lot of tomatoes. Surprisingly, I didn't know how that was going to do with the plants looking the way they did, but we've gotten a lot of tomatoes out. This is my other cucumber bed right here, and we have harvested lots of cucumber out of here. The Japanese long, the Armenian, the lemon cucumber, and now there is some new plants that's coming in. I think they're Japanese long, I believe. I didn't label these particular ones, if you see the new growth right here. But I believe they are Japanese long. So maybe we'll have some more Japanese long. But we've harvested the lemons, the Armenians, and the Japanese long out of this bed and have had plenty to share. Got some grass growing in here. I gotta clean this out because I don't want any grass in here. Our lettuce now is going to seed, so I'm kind of just letting it go to seed. But we've harvested out of here. I got a little more I can harvest out of here. And then the Swiss chard on the other side. We have harvested out of here many times. And we have another big harvest that we could take out of here. My okra. There's the okra plant flower. I love the okra flower. But the okra bed is looking magnificent. I started my okra a little later. As you can see, there's one right there. I started my okra this year a little later than I usually do, but the plants are doing awesome. And like I said, I love, 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 love the okra flower. Sweet potato bed. As you can see, it is taking up the whole bed, all the way down. I've cut it back several times, and it is still growing like wildflowers. As you can see, I have the potatoes that I put in there, my white potatoes. They are sprouting in here, so I'll probably cut this back so that they have the opportunity to grow also. I got more tomatoes right here, more tomatoes right there, and right in here I have my blue Hubbard squash that I just I sprouted with using the paper towel method. I sprouted them and I just put them in the bed recently. That's actually a winter squash that said I can actually plant it now. So I'm gonna see what happens with that, you know, trial and error. If it succeeds, yay, we'll have some winter squash. If it fails, I will try again, because that's just what I do. And like I said, right through here, there's a tomato. Right through here is the squash. And this is supposed to be my little walkway through here, but the squash and the watermelon are co-joined here in the section. There's another watermelon. There's another watermelon. And just on the other side, I think we have the black diamond and the, I forgot the name of the other one. But the black diamond, let's see if I can show you one of those, is right there. Can't really see it, but it's darker. It doesn't have any stripes in it. Okay, it is starting to get just a little warm out here, but I just wanted to give just a little walkthrough so that you can see the update. on what was going on in the garden. Just a little update. And the lavender that I couldn't grow in the jar, that was another one of my failures. My husband actually put a lavender plant in the garden, and that one is getting ready to flower. So that's actually doing good. I have my purple queens right here, and they're doing good also. As you can see, one is getting ready to flower or started flowering. But that's just a little walkthrough. You can see what's going on in the garden. There you are. So we did our walkthrough. The greenhouse is getting a new pump. We have peppers growing in there also. The tomatoes, I've pulled the tomatoes out. We did get some tomatoes out of there. Not a lot. I think it was a little too hot for them in this new greenhouse. So I have harvested those already and pulled them out. But the peppers are looking good. My geranium. And there is that squash plant that has taken over that whole area. So I'm just going to let it do what it does. I'm going to let it do what it does. That is just fine with me. There's Gizmo. Okay, so to talk about the herb garden. Well, let me start over here, because this is where I started with my herbs. As you can see, there's a couple of herbs that grew. Majority of them did not grow. So I'm going to have to do a little more research into why I could not start my herb garden. What did I do wrong? Because it's something that I did wrong, I'm sure. But on this other side, my husband started another little herb garden, and it's doing well. Got my mint over here. As you can see, this used to be where my elephant ears were. And we thought we had pulled them all up, but haha, hello, it's growing next to my dill. And I have my thyme right here. Some mint back there. This is catnip right here. Got my lavender over there. Got another little elephant ear, looks like, coming up right here. Yep, another elephant ear right there. This is lemon balm right here. I got my parsley. I got oregano. The oregano and the parsley, and the parsley and the sage did really, really good. My basil actually did really good. The spicy basil, that's what we're looking at right here, has done really good. Yeah, so this is the herb garden that's on the other side that's done a little better. So I have to do a little more research, because I want to be able to use my stacked herb box that my hubby made. Okay, so I'm going to walk into the shade for a little bit. Like I said, it's starting to get a little warm out here, so that I can say hello to you all again. And hopefully you enjoyed this update. Of course, if you have any questions, any comments, anything that you're growing, feel free to share. I will be back on the scene. Ooh, yeah, starting to heat up a little bit out here. Be back on the scene making videos as we transition. This is halfway through the summer, so as we transition from the summer into what we'll be putting into the garden for the fall, and what we'll be starting for the fall. So that's it. I just wanted to give just a little update. Like I said, I've been off the scene for a little bit. Sorry about that. But we're back. Hopefully you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your day. Try to stay cool. It's a little breeze blowing now. And thanks for liking and subscribing to Island Girl Gardening. See you next time.